Welcome to another edition of Totally Awesome Fishing, and this time I'm going to be talking with Dave Kiddy, who runs wholesaling on Sidewinder Lures and a lot of other tackle. I'm down in Torquay in Devon. Let's see what Dave has to say about one of the most fabulous products in fishing you can fish with. This little chap here is what all the fuss is about. This is a Sidewinder sand eel, and Dave's going to tell us what it's all about. Dave, give us an insight into your family history.
Well, Graeme, very nice to see you. After talking on the phone, the Kiddy lot, we've been involved in sea fishing tackle since the 50s. Really, my father started our company back then purely making fishing floats by hand. He used to make balsa wood fishing floats on a lathe by hand, and that progressed into making lead weights from scrap lead and such. I've personally been involved in the business for 20 years. I've grown up in it really, and the nature of our company changed from a manufacturing into more of a wholesaling and import side of things. And that's pretty much where we are now. We've actually sold off the manufacturing side of it, and now we have got our own brands, such as, like you say, Sidewinder, which is a lure brand that we've developed.
It's a household name, David. It has a household name with fishermen.
A household name. Well, we've certainly had a lot of success with it, Graeme. It's been a fantastic brand of stuff for us. We put a lot of work into developing, the background to the brand. Working very closely really with expert line anglers that were based down here in Dartmouth. And,
now when you say expert line anglers, you're talking to commercial people, aren't you? Bass fishermen and stuff like that.
Commercial bass guys that go out, all year, and we've used their knowledge to develop our range of lures, and these have been the guys that have been at the forefront of not only testing what we've come up with so far, but they're also going to be involved in testing the next generation of Sidewinder lures, which we're working on at the moment.
You're constantly evolving. I mean, I suppose anglers, perhaps like me, a bit basic, I think, they're made of rubber. What you say, they're made of latex. What's the actual involvement in the production?
Well, I mean, they're a special latex mix. They're made in the Far East. We've got a factory in the Far East, and we took a while to get exactly the right balance. There's always a balance when you're making a lure between action, i.e. how it works, and longevity. Commercial guys, they want everything to last forever. Yeah. Of course they do, but that's not feasible when you're making a lure. You have to decide whether you want a great fish catching action or something that's stiffer, tougher, but doesn't work as well. So that was a very important bit to get right, and I'm pretty sure that with Sidewinder lures we've got exactly that right mix.
Now, obviously you're talking about catching some pretty big fish on those Sidewinders. What's the hook that you have with them? Because the last thing you want to do is have a good lure and a cheap hook, which I have seen in lures. So what's your recommendation?
We tried all sorts, Graeme, to be fair, but in the end we stuck with mustads. We use the 32876 BLNs in a variety of sizes depending on the size of the lure, and we've just found that the quality of those is what we're looking for when we're putting our product together. So that's the hook that we will use, and we will continue to use the mustads.
Now I know a lot of guys like these rhubarb and custard ones, and I like a really small pearly silver one for the bass. Tell us about, you've got some recent ones which you call a block colour. Bring us through the colour schemes you've got.
Well, we started off, copying what's naturally out there. So we went down the natural sand eel colour, and that progressed into like other variations on the theme, pearly ones, blue ones, and such. What we found from our experience of working in the tackle business for 50 years is colours are very area specific, and they're species specific as well. Some colours work better for bass in the Channel Isles where the water is very clear. As fishermen fishing murkier waters, sometimes want a brighter colour, which brings us on to the colour you've mentioned, the rhubarb custard, which has become a bit of a cult colour for us. Certainly our best-selling colour. A killer for pollock, a killer for cods. It's just certainly one of our top-selling ones.
And what about sizes? Because you do what's the range of sizes you do through Sidewinders now?
We just do 3 sizes in the sand reel version of the Sidewinder. We do a small one, a 4-inch, and then we do a 6-inch, which is probably our best selling size, and then we do an 8-inch, a slightly bigger one, which is a slower seller. 4 and 6 inch are certainly the best ones. You know, 4 inch is a castable lure, steel from the shore. It comes with a 14 gram weight in it.
When I was over in Ireland this year, fishing and filming with Mike, we were on the Pollock in about 15 feet of water. We had fabulous fishing over there. Second day we went out, we had even better fishing with bigger fish, but we got bust up a lot. I call it a chubby chunky. It's a little short dumpy thing. What was that all about? Tell me more about those.
Well, like we said earlier, Graeme, the sand eel spawned various other versions of the same, and what we tried to do was copy other prey species of fish that were out there. And talking to the charter guys and the commercial boys, they were telling us stuff like, well, the most common species that they find in the bellies of prey fish are stuff like sprats, are stuff like baby joey mackerel, are stuff like baby mullet. And so what we ended up doing was designing lures that look like these things. The chubby chunkies that you're on about are we call them minnows, but what they're actually designed to be is a baby mullet type look. We put a big paddle tail on the damn thing so that it gives a lot of vibration in the water, and we've had a lot of success with those as well.
Well, when we were fishing with it, they just swallowed it, just straight back. You know? So they were very, very good. And remember, the name now, the next new lure, has got to be named Chubby Chunky.
Chubby Chunkies, we'll certainly put it on the board.
Because that's what Mike calls it, the Chubby Chunky boot is deadly. Now also, people won't realise that you do a huge range of other stock here, loads of different stuff. Run us past some of the other brands that you actually wholesale from here.
Yeah, I mean, Sidewinder is our lure brand, and that's what we put all of our latex type lures under that. But we've got a variety of other brands in-house. Storm is a brand that we've had for over 10 years now. We have great success with that on a variety of tackle, whether it's rods and reels or feathers, metal lures, line, you name it, Graeme. We run an item in it under our Storm brand. And on the back of that, we're also a general wholesaler for other very well-known brands that are sold all over the UK, such as obviously Breakaway, Kamasan, Sakuma, Red Gill. We mix and match it all in, really, and wholesale the whole lot out to the UK.
Now, something's caught my eye over in the corner there. I'm going to have to show it to camera, and everybody mustn't be shocked, but it looks like a pink fishing rod.
It is a pink fishing rod, Graeme. Yeah, it is indeed. That's part of our Lady Luck range, which, believe it or not, there it is. Lady Luck. We actually developed this a couple of years ago to cater for female anglers that were fed up with having their stuff nicked by their boyfriend. We figured that no boyfriend is going to be seen on the beach with this. And it's been a great success as well. It's a no-brainer really for a girl or a lady that wants something individual when she goes into a shop. So that's she's certainly going for this, and it's a no-brainer for the guys if they're looking for something that.
So it's got all the same fixtures, fittings, and everything as the normal gear. It's just purely colour.
It's just a colour. It's just a colour, and we sell as many of these now as we do the standard colour items. Been very, very pleased with this brand. Like I say, Lady Luck has done very well for us.
And that smells nice and smooth as well.
Not bad.
Okay. Loads of other brands I see. I know you've got a Mustad down here. What about these reels I see behind me? What are those brands?
Well, we've got we've done the pen reels for a long time. Always good sellers. They've been slightly eclipsed now with the new pretenders to the throne coming through. We've done very well with Akuma, which is a nice solid brand. One of the latest ones that we're doing is the Akios range. We do a full range of Akios reels now, and they've been very well accepted. This year they've got a great range of casting reels, and they've just brought out a brand new range of left-handers as well, which I think are going to be popular.
And you do stuff for the big fish as well, slightly bigger. Would you have anything that goes up to sort of shark size or like a 4.0, 6.0 sort of size?
We do only in the pen do we do that sort of large game fishing type reel. 90% of the tackle we sell is for inshore angling, what you're normally going to catch. The specialist stuff we don't tend to concentrate on quite so much.
Yeah, so it'd be shore-based, casting off the shore, small boat fishing, that type of thing.
Small boat fishing, and not so much the big game.
Yes.
The sort of tackle that
heavy stuff.
Yeah, tackle anglers that are going over to Norway and things like that. We don't get involved in that too much. It's a bit too specialist for us.
Yeah. I see you've got a lot of beach vesters here. you tell us something about those? You know, all the different bits and bobs you do with it.
One of the best selling ranges we've got is the IMAX stuff. You know, they do a great range of beach traces. They do a very nice beach tripod, great quality gear. The pricing is great on it. Never get too many problems with it.
What does that double? We're looking at a double there. What sort of price would a double rod one rest like that run out at retail?
Double rod ones, they go from anywhere between $29.99 for the standard without the cups to 50 quid, $49.99 for the all singing, all dancing with, you know, the extendable legs, sliding double cups on it so that the angler can position it however he likes. Yeah, it's a nice range of gear, and of course it's very popular at this time of year. You're moving into the autumn, you've got the beach fishing really starting to kick off now, and that sort of thing.
What sort of recommendation would you put people, you know, hopefully watching this programme, it might be beginners, it might be youngsters, there might be people coming back into the sport, which I've noticed quite a lot. I've spoken to them on the beach fishing, even last week when I was filming, people, 2 or 3 people, they'd all come back into fishing, or they're unemployed and they want, you know, to pass the time while they're waiting for a job to come up. What sort of recommendation would you say? Set them up, 1 beach rod and 1 boat rod. What would be your advice? It's not going to bust the budget.
My recommendation, Graeme, would be, it's an easy one, is go down to your local independent tackle shop. Don't buy it online. Go and find out from the guys in your area what the best bit of kit is suitable for where you're going to fish is. And there's nothing like local knowledge for that sort of stuff. If you just plump for something online because it looks cheap or whatever, you might end up with something that's not suitable. You can't beat talking to the people that are working in the business, and especially if they're working in the business in your area.
And you supply just leading tackle shops, really, do you? We
supply just independent retailers of fishing tackle. They've got to have a retail premises. We don't get involved. We really believe that the local fishing tackle shop is the backbone of the industry, because without those guys, where are you going to get your bait? Where are you going to get your local knowledge? Where are you going to get all the help and tips that you need if you don't know what you're doing to get going? And you know, we try and support those guys as much as possible with their competitions and anything else that they do. I think it's very important that we stick with that.
Now, Sidewinder, which is a brand we always associate you with, because there's obviously lots of press and lots of catches on it. That's the main lure, but I understand you've still got some development process going ahead. Even though they're as successful as they are, you want to better it. What's that about?
Well, you know, there's that old saying, even if you're on the right track, if you stand still, you get run over. You know, there's never a time to rest on your laurels. We've had great success with the Sidewinder Lures, as you pointed out very kindly. In fact, we have just been voted the best UK lure brand of 2011, which is a nice accolade to have, and that's by the readers at Total Sea Fishing, and that's actually people that go fishing. That's
the fishermen themselves voting for it.
That's the fishermen themselves. We're always looking to the future. At the moment, we're working with Edinburgh University. We've got a guy up there that used to be a fishing coach in the US. He's now doing a master's in lure design. So we're working very closely with him. I won't give away too much, but he's very, very keen. He's got access to all their facilities, and we're very interested with the ideas that he's coming up with, which will be our new generation of Sidewinder lures.
So you might even be able to incorporate something like a test tank or something to get lures designed specifically for fish.
They've got all those hydro testing facilities up at the university. They've also got obviously access to experts in plastics, experts in batteries, and it's a combination of what we know, what they know, and we're just trying to tweak things at the moment. You know, there's always somewhere to go with it.
Now, I've never been a lover of braid, and I've recently just got into it, and we've actually used braid on 2 of our films I've done with Mike as a test, which obviously, you know, you get some stuff to test now and then, but we tested it to the limit. We got 140 pound common skate, and we got, well, blue sharks over 100 pounds on it. So I've been impressed with braid, but it's been a sort of slightly thicker diameter.
Yeah.
I understand you're going to have a look at the braid and come up with a really sort of premium brown one. So tell us something about this new braid that's on the way and to be expected.
Yeah, it's one thing that goes hand in glove with our Sidewinder Lures, Graeme, is a good quality braid, and we've managed to find a real good one, which we're going to brand up under our Sidewinder Silk brand. It's going to be available next year, so coming in about February 2012. I very much like you to try it out. It's a Teflon infused 8-strand multi-dyneema. It's top of the line. We're calling it, it's a seaweed colour, so it's like a dark green. We're calling it Sidewinder Silk. It's very soft and supple. It knots very well. It's not as thin as the thinnest stuff out there, but I think it fishes better. And we've had it out with the commercial guys and they love it. And if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me.
So the commercials use braid as well?
They do if we ask them to test it for us, what they think about it. And if they come back and say, yeah, we like it, that's definitely where we're going with it.
The last bit up from the lure to me is an important piece, it's a trace. Do you do anything? Do you do fluorocarbons or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, funny you should mention it. I mean, on the back of the braid, we are bringing out our own fluorocarbon now. It's another thing that just ties in very nicely with lure fishing in general, and we certainly needed a Sidewinder version of it. You know, we are careful about what we put under the Sidewinder braid. We only go for the best and the tested stuff. We found a great fluorocarbon. You know, we've got the braid, we've got the lures, we've got the fluorocarbon. Hopefully, you know, it'll be a good 2012.
Well, I've appreciated your little tour and tips and that you give anglers. I'm sure they'll appreciate all the new products you got lined up to come along and some of the good existing established ones. We'll have a quick look around your packing factory because, you know, nobody's ever really going to see in here, but there's an enormous, huge stock that you hold in here, hundreds and hundreds of boxes, so I'll be very impressed with it, and I'm sure the fish will be as well. So Dave Kiddy, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Graeme, it's been a pleasure.
Dave ships of products all over the world. He does lots in Ireland, Scotland, right even up to the Isle of Bute and right down the southwest to the Isles of Scilly. As far as international shipments go, they go to South Africa, Denmark, Sweden, Norway and Spain. They're so successful with these Sidewinders, they're actually trying to distribute them now in America. They're over there for testing and seeing what fish they can catch. In peak time, Dave probably holds at least a base stock of around 100,000 Sidewinders at any one time. It's an angler's paradise. And during the summer, Paul tells me he can sell 1,000 packs a week to the tackle dealers. They can be delivered on a next day 24-hour delivery, so any angler going into a tackle shop can order from that retail outlet and they should get them the next day. Obviously, in Ireland and the Isle of Lewis, being more remote, it takes say 4 to 5 days. They hold everything down here at the Kiddy wholesale store, up to 3 tons of leads, broken down between breakaway leads, cannonballs, ordinary bopedos and plain leads. Paul gets a 40-foot container delivery, absolutely rammed full of hundreds and hundreds of rods and reels, but this year's been so good with the business, he's actually had 2 40-foot deliveries. As for getting stuff in for China, Paul's noted it's gone up at least 40 to 50% importing over the last 5 years. It's that popular. And Paul is now packing up and selling for the Kiddy system a huge amount of Sakuma hooks. You know, the latest and greatest, they're very good, and they're actually, can you believe this, now outselling Kamasan and Mustad in the Kiddy range. Paul orders about 2,500 pounds worth of Sakuma hooks every 2 to 3 weeks. So that means the anglers like them and the sales keep rising. Stock they hold in this premises is absolutely amazing, but they need to because they've got to supply those tackle dealers on a regular next day delivery basis.